Chapter 9, More Inheritance. Some topics we will discuss are overriding, method polymorphism, static and dynamic type, dynamic method lookup, and protected access. Until now, when we discussed the type of an object, it was simple. The type of the object held in the variable and the type of the variable were the same. Once we introduced subtyping, we made things a bit more complex. We now need to be precise when we talk about type with a variable. Continuing with Chapter 8's example, is the type of V1 a vehicle or a car? This is where being precise is important. If we are discussing the type of the variable V1, then we are talking about vehicle. If we are discussing the object being held in V1, then we are talking about a car. This is where the situation becomes complex. However, if you can remember that the variable type always comes before the name of the variable, and the object type is always after the new, you should be able to keep them straight. The declared type, or the type that comes before the variable name, is the static type. It is called static because it is declared in the source code, which is the static portion of the program and programming in general. The type of the object stored in the variable, or the type that is used after the new call, is known as a dynamic type. It is dynamic because it depends on assignments at runtime, which is the dynamic part of the program and programming in general. To explain this statement using these new keywords, it would say, the static type of V1 is vehicle, and the dynamic type of V1 is car. Compilers will report an error when using dynamic variables because for type checking it will use the static type. Since the compiler can only check the source code or static portion of the program, it has no choice but to use the static variable. This should alert the programmer that there are parts missing from the static type and should be corrected.